Hey everyone, it's Peter Kerr from Rock Daydream Nation, and today I've got a very special guest, Max Cavalera from Soulfly. How's it going, mate?
Doing great, man. Good to be talking to you. How you doing?
Oh, doing well, doing well. Max, congratulations on the album Charmer. Are you happy with how the album's been received thus far?
Very happy. I think definitely feels something special about this one. And after you do so many records like I've done, expect the unexpected. That's my mantra. Um, but it feels good to be so well received by the fans and by the reviews too. The reviews were amazing. On the record. It feels like a lot of reviews they mentioned felt like Soulfly found the rekindle with the old flame from the beginning.
Yes.
Uh, and I kind of agree with that because I think the amount of inspiration was high on this one on Shama. We're very inspired, and inspiration is a funny thing. It doesn't happen all the time, and when it happens, you better enjoy it. You better grab it. You better write it. Because there's moments where it's not here and it's not fun.
Yeah.
You're with your guitar and nothing cool is coming out, and you're just like, oh, you just,
Yeah.
anxiety. But yeah, I feel Shama is very, it's a cool record, man. It's got a cool story behind. It's got a cool name.
Yes.
It's got
Yes.
a cool album cover. I feel
Mm.
it's definitely one of the strongest Soulfly records we put out in a while.
Yeah, and definitely one of the most experimental out of your collection because just listening to it, you're really exploring some sounds. Is that something that
Right.
you really groove on, just looking for the new sound?
That's actually not me, not my idea. That was my son Zion produced the record.
Mm,
That
yeah.
came from him. He's really into a lot of newer bands that are doing stuff right now. Stuff like Body Box and
Mm,
uh, some other newer bands. And he actually had the idea to make this kind of sonic landscape, almost like psychotic a little bit. It feels a
yeah.
bit uncomfortable even at some point,
Mm,
especially if you're listening in headphones. It feels like there's noises coming from everywhere, attacking you from everywhere. You've been attacked.
yeah.
My job was to make the riff and make the riff and the vocals combined together. um
Mm,
Ryan was the pounding of the drums, and then we put the percussion on top of it. But then he also put all this electronic sounding stuff. Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
it
I think
is.
it's I never done a record like that before, where you put the layers of sound on top of it,
Yeah.
and I found it to be very yeah. It feels raw and energetic, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really dense, and the story from by Igor is kind of like a concept album where you've got this person going into the jungle and doing a bit of self-discovery. And when you put on the headphones, it feels like you are actually in the jungle, and all these different things are happening. Would that be fair to say on a sonic level?
That's cool if you got that vibe from it. I
Mm,
mean, one of the reviews I read was really cool. Was um, the guy was mentioning the instrumental song Soulfly 13, and he said that it feels like Max and Zion were in a trip together in the Amazon, and they took some ayahuasca together, and they were tripping when they made this song. I love that. I think that's
mm,
exactly how Soulfly 13 feels like. It's very esoteric and haunting kind of sounding. There's like a
yeah.
haunting melody vibe going on Soulfly 13. And I think it feels perfect right there on a record, because then you get Shama right
Mm,
after that, which is a very strong song, finishes the record strong. Um, I think it's cool. If you can if a record can transport you to somewhere, I always love that, because I think it's the power of imagination.
yeah.
Growing up as a metal fan myself, so many places. But Iron Maiden album took me, Metallica and all of that. So if the record can make that to you, can transport you somewhere, yeah, it's amazing. It's really great that that the you can use your imagination, especially if you're looking at the album cover,
Yeah.
uh, and you're reading the story, and
Mm,
I would love to do some kind of animation video to go with that story. That it would have
yes.
been cool. Maybe next year we can come up with something like that to go. Maybe we can do on the instrumental song. Just have this animation story with the
Yeah.
boy and the favelas and going into the jungle and the whole thing. So that should be cool. Let's hope we can pull that out.
Yeah, absolutely. Was this album a long one to record or fairly speedy?
It took a long time to get it done. We spent quite amount of time, I guess, writing. I took my time on the writing. I didn't want to hurry. I did not needed to hurry. And so I took the time to find the right riffs, the right modes. Um, if you listen to a song like Storm the Gates, it was very prepared with that retro Soulfly sound from the early era. Um, so we took I took to make those things happen, and then you have experimental stuff like Gehenna and always was, always will be, a little bit of drum machine. Um,
Mm,
there was a good amount of time in the studio as well. We didn't do it all at once, which was cool. We did some parts of it. I think I went on tour, did some other tour with Cavalera or something. Um, and that, I think that's cool because I came back from those tours inspired by the touring and the fans and
mm,
what you see on the road, and you bring that right back to the studio. And so I think Shama had a little bit of all that. Um, and so yeah, I think in the end of the day, it was really fun. I mean, we had a song with Dino as well. No power, no pain equals no power. Uh, we had our friend Dino come to Arizona and ride that with us. That was really cool too. Kind of like a jam session, just me, him, Zion, and Dino jamming in a room, and that was a fantastic moment. It was like, me and Dino are veterans of this game, so we've been through everything. But when you're in the studio in that moment, and you're smiling from green to green, it's like you're onto something cool. You're onto
mm.
something good. It's an exciting thing that's coming out of the speakers. And Um, so that song had a little bit of a better treatment. I think we spent a little bit more time on that song with the guest
Yep.
vocals as well.
Mm.
So yeah, I think overall, a little bit more time than I normally spend in the studio, but um, actually quite cool. I think we used the time really well.
Yeah, it was time well spent. When you are in the studio, do you jam a lot of ideas that turn into songs, or a lot of it's demoed outside the studio and you bring it in and then refine it?
There's all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of, like, we went through a lot of riffs and a lot of songwriting ideas that eventually, like I was saying, like a song like Storm the Gates. I had the whole song pretty much demo out at home. I do that in my living room right here. So that
Mm,
kind of like, you just take that to the studio and bring that to life. But there's some other stuff that we totally did it in the studio, and that was like, I think one of the songs that it was kind of like, yeah, no pain equals no power was entirely done in the studio.
wow.
Because we didn't have a I didn't have a starting riff, and that's Dino came up with the opening riff, and we follow
Mm,
him, and then we start adding more parts and this and that. So yeah, it's a combination of that, but I do amount of writing before. I try to be as prepared as I can to bring that stuff to the studio, so you have like a lot of stuff to work with, so you're not just sitting there and be with the pressure to write it on the spot, because that can
yeah.
be quite uh quite hard to. So if you have a lot of stuff prepared, you can have that as a starting point, and then you can work with that for a little bit,
Mm,
and then other things will fall into place. So It's a combination of all of that, but I think that's kind of cool because, and I think all of my records are done like that for a long time. Back in the Sepultura days,
Yep.
there's a huge amount of stuff I do at home. Roots was a good example of that. I did a lot of in-home writing, and we
Mm,
took that to California and turned those into songs. And then a lot of stuff happened in the studio, like Rata Mahata is a total jam song that was born in the studio, just like
mm.
no pain equals no power.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have riffs in your head all the time? Do you actually wake up in the middle of the night and you got a riff?
Not all the
Um,
time. I kind of joke with people that I go reef hunting in the desert. Um, yeah, a lot of times I go for walks, clear my head. I go for a little hike in the desert and come back and I start jamming the guitar and the riff comes out. Um,
mm,
a couple of times there's been some pre preordained riffs in my head that I woke up with it and I had to go record. I think there was one. I think it was like 5 in the morning. I woke up. I woke up Gloria like you have to record this. This I'm gonna forget it.
like now, got to get it down
Yeah,
now.
yeah, and you have to do it because you will forget it. So this is a tip for
Yes.
everybody, musicians out there. If you have a good riff, a good idea, record it. Don't wait till
Mm,
later. Don't wait till the afternoon. Oh, I record it later because it'll be gone. Do it.
mm. How important is it to have a good producer that understands you and the band in the studio?
It's not really about being I guess a good producer. It's about being passionate about the project more than anything else. You got to give a shit. And that to me, that's the ultimate sign of a good producer is that you care. You care for the project. And you give everything to this project. You put your heart and soul and everything in it. And that's why to me, it feels to me like Shama is done with a kid Zion that has never produced before, has no production experience whatsoever, but had a huge amount of inspiration and passion, and that's all you really need. And I work with big names like Andy Wallace, where yeah, it's kind of like very experienced. It's a different result, but in the end of the day, you notice that they care for the project, and that's to me that's the coolest. I've been actually very lucky. Like all people I work with are they care for the records. Um, there's been one or two instances where was a little bit maybe less uh, inspired, but most of it I've been very lucky, and I got to work with some great people. But to me, it was exciting and nerve wracking at the same time, giving the keys to Zion to drive the car. It's like you've never
Yeah.
done a record. It's a risk. It was a risk. But I love taking risks. I think this is it's part of a musician. I think a musician that want to you gotta sometimes you just gotta jump, close your eyes and jump without knowing where you're gonna land. And that's it, and just hope you're gonna land okay.
Yeah.
And that's part of it, man. Like I work better when I'm uncomfortable, when I'm not in my total control element.
Comfort zone. Out of your
Yeah, out of
comfort zone.
my zone,
Yeah.
you gotta get the best results. So for me, records like Beneath the Remains, Soulfly One, Shama are examples of that where it's not really fun to make. It's actually a huge
Mm,
amount of anxiety. I probably have a bunch of ulcers from those records. I'm not
mm,
even joking. I truly have ulcers from anxiety from making all those records through these years. Uh, but the result is fantastic. It's a good result. So
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little bit of a painful process to go through, but in the end of the day, it pays off because you get something really cool that the fans really love it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you're on record that writing lyrics is not your favorite part of it. Do you still feel the same way, or
Yeah.
you're getting better at sort of reconciling with that?
I like singing them. I enjoy singing, especially if
Mm,
Shama is the record where I came back to like hitting myself again in the studio to really feel the songs. And,
mm,
even if you get bruised up, it's all part of the experience, scratch yourself to get the, the,
yeah,
uh, the goosebumps, and I like singing them. I like singing when people write something or the lyrics. Like on this album, my sons helped me with the lyrics, and one of their line, some of the lyrics were great, were amazing. That I really love singing them.
yeah.
A lot of times I do hit some real good liners that I really like. But honestly talking, yeah, it feels like homework. It's tedious. It's like not my favorite cup of tea. I prefer to spend time with my guitar writing riffs. That's where I really love it. That's I really enjoy it.
Mm,
But it's a necessary evil. You need the lyrics,
yeah,
especially if you're
absolutely.
a singer.
I
There's
find
no
that
way.
strange because your lyrics are really good, and it kind of reminds me like Geezer Butler in Black Sabbath. He's written some great lyrics, and he hates it. He doesn't like writing lyrics. So I'm
Right. So
just yeah,
maybe a similar thing. It's just,
yeah, and I think he feels the same way, like a bit of an ordeal. But he's written some great lyrics, and so have you. So I
yeah,
just
thank
find
you. Well,
that
I
strange.
appreciate it. But I'm honestly speaking to you that I don't like it. That I It's the least favorite process of a whole record
Yeah,
making. The lyrics is like my least favorite, and then
yeah,
there's other people that love it. Like my son Igor, he loves. He say he worship words. He's a writer of books, so he loves words. He loves. Um, I love when you find something that is gonna fit the song, and then you go sing it, and it's fits perfectly, and then even before you ever played that one live. You say, when I sing this live, you know, people gonna go off. They're gonna love it. They're gonna sing together. They're gonna. Um, it's kind of like we call it. What is it? The hooks. Sometimes you gotta have the hooks that people really. They're almost like nursery rhymes, like lullabies for kids. As the simpler the better. Like to me, songs like Roots, Bloody Roots are as the simplest. The one, I
mm,
actually tried to redo Eye for an Eye. And, like I tried to redo it. And sometimes that magic, you only catch it once. You can try to catch it again, and it's not going to be the same as the original is always the best one, the greatest one.
yeah, absolutely. Well, I guess with lyrics and music, sometimes it just meshes and it's just magic. And a lot of your
Exactly.
songs just have that synergy. Hey, when you were recording this album, was there any sort of metal or punk act or music that you sort of listen from other bands just to get you in the groove or inspire you before you go into laying tracks?
Oh yeah, all the time. And music is inspiration forever. Like every record I ever done, it's always been inspired by the music I'm listening to in the meantime. In fact, I kind of also look for inspiration outside metal, which I think is really cool. If you can find it, go listen to something like Massive Attack or Dead Can Dance. And if you find something in that outside music that's not metal that you can borrow and put you on your metal, it's great. That's to me like really cool. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it does happen, it's really exciting. But yeah, I listen to music in a regular basis. Like I enjoy a lot of underground bands. I still kind of still feel like a young kid at heart, you know, like I'm a metalhead at heart, and that's something that I take pride, and I feel that it's something that it's up to me not to let that uh not to let that die, you know. Some people lose that interest through the years. They get older and they lose interest. I'm a lifer. This thing is gonna be with me forever. And music, I find music to be totally, like you say, magic. It's the best explanation. There's
Yeah.
something about it that I don't think even scientists can figure out why it does what it does, you know. And that's why, like, I don't really care much for the technical side of music. I care more about the feeling, you know. So to me, you don't need to be a maestro to be good. Just
Mm,
couple chords. If you do that the right way with feeling, you're good. It's gonna hit just as hard as somebody that has studied 30 years and you know, knows every
yeah.
note, every thing about it. You know, so I love the magic side of music.
Yeah, interesting. Like metal is such a big tree, isn't it? There's so many different types of metal. Do you think there's some metal that just got too technical and just lost the feeling? There's some genres of metal that it's just too much technique.
I don't know. I feel sometimes some production. Sometimes I hear it feels a bit over overproduced to the top.
Sterile?
Yeah, like plastic, you know, like
Yeah.
pop music. Like
Mm,
because metal, I think, is the furthest thing from pop music that you can get. Because it's like it's outsider music. I feel we are like on outside of society, and
mm,
I think if you try to make that plastic fake pop metal, to me loses the soul of it. You know, it loses the
mm,
heart. It loses why we like metal in the first place. We like it because it was rebellious
mm.
and outrageous, and your neighbor hated. You know that
Yeah.
type. You know, I can't say my parents hated because my mom actually was a fan. Um, even your parents not supposed to like it, you know. Uh, and I feel, and that's why I like raw productions like Shama. You know, I didn't want a real polished pop production. I think that kills the soul of the music.
There's some real ambient moments on the album. Would you ever consider one day just doing a project which is kind of non-metal and explores your love for that side of music? Because you were saying like you listen to some other music, like Massive Attack. Would you ever consider doing a trip hop album or something a little bit non-metal?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I thought for a while, but I always kind of either go back to. I'm always attracted to the heaviness side of it, but I
Mm,
do love those interludes, and I think those are actually things that make Soulfly different from a lot
yes.
of other things. On Shama, in the end of Shama, we have a little section, and in the studio we were joking, it sounded like Pink Floyd, and we kind of ran with that, and it was like this is our Pink Floyd section. It's like more ambient stuff, you know. It's cool. I like the to combine that. And another thing Soulfly does a lot also live, we have all these tribal intros and outros now more than ever, you know.
Mm,
I think that creates atmospheric, makes the Soulfly show unique. It's very unique in his own way. Like all these crazy tribal sounds are coming out of the speakers in between songs, and some of it's us actually playing them. You know, in these all these interludes and stuff.
mm,
I find that to be really cool. It's fun. It's actually fun to play, but make a whole record of that. People have asked me to do like a whole record of instrumentals, like
mm.
just apply instrumentals, that type stuff. I'm not there yet, but you know, the thought is actually has entered my mind for a little bit.
It's on the laundry list to do, a
It's been
to-do
a long
list in
to
in the
do, yeah.
future. Hey, you guys played Ozzfest in '98 and 2000. How important were those festivals in getting the band out there to the wider public?
It was great, man. It was I think that festival in on itself, it was amazing, like the way it was created. Um and I know for a fact that it was a response from Ozzy. I think Sharon tried to get Ozzy on Lollapalooza, and they laughed at her and him, and told her that he was a washed up rock star, which has no place in Lollapalooza. And her response to that was create their own festival, Ozzfest, which just became bigger than Lollapalooza. And I love
Mm,
that. I love that story. Um, it was crazy. It was like a lot of different bands, going across country. There was a lot of crazy shit. I remember a lot of crazy shit going on at that time. But yeah, for Soulfly, to get Soulfly going, it was really cool. I think it gave us a uh, real big kick in the beginning of our career. Soulfly One was actually gold. Soulfly One and Primitive, they both went gold in America, um, which is back then when people bought records. Like now, everybody
major.
gets, yeah,
That's
people now it's free, and all that, it's all stream, but you gotta stream a
mm,
trillion thousand listeners to get $100.
yeah,
So it was a different time, but yeah, definitely important for the band to get stuff. But I believe on everything. I believe those are important. I also believe carving your own path is also important. Doing, no matter how small the show, do the show with the same amount of energy and excitement that if you were playing a 100,000 festival crowd. We try to, at least, and I'm always big believer of that. That's why I always give a big. If I see a band member and that we're playing a small place, there's only 100 people. If one band member complains, he's gonna get he's gonna hear from. Um, I'll put him on his place. Like, those 100 people are a hundred. They're here to see you, even if it's small. That kind of attitude, I think it's important to have that, and I think some bands kind of lose sight of that. They just want the big things in life, just the big
yeah,
shows. Uh, and to me, I don't care, like, really, small show, big show. It's more about the people there are connecting with you. Then great. Then it doesn't matter how many people are there.
yeah. No, you raise an interesting point because I got this theory that a lot of bands that go into stadium rock, it's like no turning back. They can't go back to a club. They don't know how to play a club because they're
Yeah.
just so used to the bells and whistles and the staging. You know what I mean? They lose themselves a bit. Do you think that's true?
Yeah, okay, I think it could be. I mean, I myself uh kind of experienced a lot of all of it, like all the big festivals, the big shows. And honestly, I had some big shows that were worst to me than playing for 100 people. They
Mm,
felt worst. It was like disconnected. Nobody gave a shit that you were there. They were
yeah,
just uh, there's a shit a lot of people, but they really don't care
yeah,
if you're
yeah.
there. Um, where, like I say, like 100 people there really want to see you there. You can have
Ab-
an amazing show.
Absolutely, especially when you're playing a festival at like midday. Like in the sun's coming down. Because if you play a festival set at night or sundown, that's great. But when you're playing that first spot, it's kind of hard to work an audience, isn't it?
Oh, I done it. I done a shit ton of all of that. Uh, they're hard, but it's all part of it.
Yeah, part of the
The other
journey.
the other side of the coin of that is that how to, you can it's kind of like a battle. Let's go win you know those people in the middle of the day. Let's go at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. How do we flip them so they like us? One of the most nerve-wracking shows I ever done was it was called the Gathering of the Juggalos, and it was the Insane Clown Posse guys festival, because they have their own crowd and they don't really like you first, and so I remember getting hit with sodas in the stomach in the first couple songs, and people throwing shit. Little by little, though, we were like conquering them, and by the end of the set, everybody was on board with Soulfly. That was great. I felt like I won a battle. It's like, yes, we fucking did
Mm,
it. We came
yeah.
in. They hated us in the beginning. We marched through, and we got through. It was great. But it was nerve wracking.
Yeah, no, I've heard they're pretty tough fans, that mob.
Yeah,
But,
it was great. It was great to do it, though. It was
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah. Well, what can Australia expect with Soulfly live this time around? You are playing dates in January, so folks, if you haven't got a ticket, do yourself a favor and get one. What can we expect?
Great show. We're gonna nail bomb Soulfly together. It's gonna be a great concert. Get there
Mm,
early. Froth and Fury Festival. Also, I heard great things about this festival. I think it's gonna be amazing.
mm.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great time. Great way to start the year. Playing Shama, playing all the classics. It's gonna be fantastic, man. I wanna thank you for the interview. Appreciate, man.
Absolutely. It's been wonderful talking to you, and I'd love to talk to you again sometime and see what else is up for Soulfly 2026 and beyond.
Thanks a lot, brother. Happy
All
holidays
right.
to you.
All the best. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, take care, man.